Bitcoin has just smashed all-time highs. Having reached just shy of $112,000, it's gone from internet scam to mainstream asset. But what if I told you there was a better investment than Bitcoin? Let me introduce you MicroStrategy. This is a software company based out of the US that's gone all in on Bitcoin. And the craziest part, they're actually beating Bitcoin. So the question is, in 2025, should you own MicroStrategy stock that owns billions of dollars of Bitcoin, or should you own Bitcoin itself? Now, Bitcoin has hit an all-time high, and everybody seems to be shouting about it.
Price of Bitcoin now at record levels, topped 111,000 for a brief moment.
Videos like this talking about Bitcoin are everywhere on YouTube. Some of the largest companies and countries in the world are buying Bitcoin in bulk. But while everybody's focused on Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is currently outperforming it. MicroStrategy just used to be a business software company out of the US until 2020, which is when Michael Saylor decided to pivot towards buying Bitcoin and putting it on their balance sheet.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
They've used cash reserves, sold shares, and even raised debt to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. Now, since then, MicroStrategy hold over 576,000 Bitcoin, valued currently at over $61 billion. This means that they hold nearly 3% of the total supply of Bitcoin, and they're already in an unrealized profit of over $30 billion. If we look at the following chart, we can see that MicroStrategy has outperformed Bitcoin by a factor of 2. This company has gone from software to essentially trading like a leveraged ETF based on Bitcoin, and that's what makes it so profitable. But here's the thing, they are very different investments, and you need to understand why you're buying one over the other or both together. On screen now are the key differences between Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. As you can see, we break it down by ownership, volatility, taxes, custody, and leverage. MicroStrategy is a leveraged bet on Bitcoin and a bet on Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy itself. Now, this comes with a lot of risks: stock dilution, regulation, and factors outside of the company's control. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is pure price volatility, but you control it and there's no CEO. So which one's right for you? Now, one of the major benefits that I see that MicroStrategy has over Bitcoin is for the UK investor. If you're in the UK, you have a £20,000 ISA limit that you can save into or invest into where the government will not tax you on gains. Now, funnily enough, MicroStrategy stock is listed on the NASDAQ, and you can purchase MicroStrategy stock in an ISA. This basically means that any gain that you get on top of your initial investment won't be taxed. Now, for example, if you put in £5,000 and MicroStrategy stock doubles, you can take out £10,000 and not have to pay any money back. There's no tax on it. Now, Bitcoin is unfortunately subject to capital gains tax in the UK, so any gain is actually taxable at the point of exit. If you liquidate all of your Bitcoin, all of a sudden you owe the government a tax bill, and nobody wants to pay tax. This is one of the clear distinctions, I think, that sets MicroStrategy apart from Bitcoin in one area. As we've seen earlier in the video, MicroStrategy stock outperforms Bitcoin by a factor of 2 historically, and you can utilize MicroStrategy stock through an ISA, which is a tax-efficient savings wrapper, and you don't pay any tax. It's kind of a no-brainer. But that's wrong, because there are so many risks that come with investing in a public company. What's to say that Michael Saylor doesn't sell up and run off into the sunset? All of a sudden, then MicroStrategy goes to zero. So which one's right for you? Well, if you plan to hodl long-term, want exposure to Bitcoin, and you're comfortable with self-custody, then Bitcoin's the way to go. But if you want more upside potential, are okay with more potential risk, and you trust Saylor's strategy, then MicroStrategy will give you more firepower. Now, personally, I hold both. I think it's great to have exposure through an ISA for MicroStrategy. Also, it gives me that exposure to leveraged Bitcoin. If Bitcoin performs, then MicroStrategy performs also by a factor of 2. However, Bitcoin is my long-term strategy. Personally, I believe that the world of finance is going to change, and I think that Bitcoin is going to pave that way. If countries or companies start pricing things in Bitcoin instead of dollars or pounds, then owning the underlying asset is going to be extremely important. And although MicroStrategy might outperform it in the short to medium term, I'm actually happy to lose some gains if I'm owning the underlying asset. So what about you? What are your thoughts? Are you going to buy MicroStrategy because of its potential? Are you going to buy Bitcoin because you own the underlying asset? Or are you going to do a mixture of both? Let me know in the comments. My name's David. This has been Wealth Fund 21, and thanks for watching.